Woo! Come on, give me that woof woof. 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 I said woof woof, you say woof woof. I say woof woof, you say woof woof. Woof 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 woof.
Hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Huz Cast. It is me, your fateful leader. Fearless? Fearful? I don't know. We'll figure out the semantics of my exact title here another time. But, got a pretty exciting podcast, in my opinion, for y'all. So first up, wanted to say I was one of the fortunate people to tribute to Endgame's immediate success on opening day weekend. Saw it. It was amazing. Won't give away any spoilers, but great movie. Fantastic way to end this phase for Marvel. It is exciting to see where they will be going after this. I know Spider-Man's the actual end of this phase, but this movie was so big. It's the penultimate of the phase, movie of the phase, if you will. But Spider-Man's going to officially end it. It'll be exciting to see what happens with Spider-Man, especially after this movie, seeing the fallout and everything like that. It'll also be interesting to see what the next set of movies are. You know, we've had all the shows announced for the Disney streaming service. We know what movies we're getting sequels to. We know Black Panther, Doctor Strange. We know the ones we're getting sequels to, but it'll be really interesting to see where the next phase heads, what movies we're getting, what off-the-wall movies we're not expecting that we'll end up getting. So I'm really, really, really excited to see where all this is headed. If you haven't seen the movie, go and see it. I can't promise you how much longer people are going to be withholding spoilers. There's only so long people can hold things in before we explode and can't hold any spoilers in anymore. So get in there, get to the theaters, see it pronto. Save all of us. So switching gears a little bit, still staying in pop culture, instead of flipping right over to games. Game of Thrones this past weekend, Battle for Winterfell. Kudos to everyone involved with it. It was a fantastic episode. The battle was fantastic. All the actors did extremely well. If anyone out there is ever thinking of making a Game of Thrones video game, not like the ones we already have, this would be an excellent battle to let players play through, even if you just did it like the old Lord of the Rings games. Two Towers, Return of the King. The Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith battles and Pelennor Fields were so much fun to play through. Well, you could just take those games, slap a Game of Thrones skin on it. I'll take it. I'll play it. But great episode. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check out that episode. If you don't really watch Game of Thrones, or you haven't, with the series ending finally, it'd be a great time to be able to go back, and you can actually watch it at your own pace, all of it, keep track of everything. I highly recommend it. Now, another thing I kind of want to talk about here is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'll wait. Watched it? Good. So, a lot of people are crapping all over this. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually here to tell you I am excited for this movie. And I will be seeing it for sure. Everyone's like, we didn't ask for it. It looks atrocious. Sonic looks frightening. I'm just excited. We're getting a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Live action, so we get to see Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. I love the actor that's the voice of Sonic. I love James Marsden. So he'll be fun to watch too. But I think it'll just be a fun movie. Will we have to turn our brains off? Yes, most definitely. But that's okay. Sometimes just the fun, dumb movies are some of the best. Look at Venom. You turn your brain off a little bit, Venom's fantastic. So, keep an open mind regarding Sonic. We'll see what comes, but I am definitely going to see that movie. Now, as if anyone had any questions, and our boy Feel Zapper wanted to know what game collections, or what game series I'd want to see put into collections and re-released. We've got the Castlevania one coming out soon. So I was kind of thinking for a little while, and the first thing that popped into my head was I want the old WWF arcade games released on a collection. Like the In Your House ones. I think I mentioned them in my last podcast. Yeah, like Undertaker beating people with tombstones, things like that. Take those games, put them all in a collection, release them. I would be in heaven. I'd love it. Even if you threw in the old Super Nintendo ones, I'd be okay with that. The Survivor Series matches were always fun, where you could only have one partner on the ring apron at a time, so if you took too much damage and you tagged out, they would swap out your partner for you. Those would be really fun to have. I'd also would like to have like a Star Wars collection. The old Super Nintendo games were a lot of fun, the old school games, even the N64 games. I'd really like to see a Star Wars collection. Shadow of the Empire was by far my favorite, but you also had Rogue Squadron. So you had those on the N64, the classics on the Super Nintendo. There's a lot of Star Wars games that you'd be able to pull from and put into that collection. Of course, you've got Knight of the Old Republics, Jedi Knight, Obi-Wan, Bounty Hunter, all those games too, but I think just focusing on like N64 and back would be perfect enough. Even if you include a GameCube to get the other Rogue Squadron in there, that'd be fine. I'd love it. I'd love to see, kind of building off one of my last ones too, a backyard sports collection. Give us baseball, give us football, give us whatever. Just put them all on one disc, one collection, and it would be fantastic. It'd also be a great way to possibly revamp that series. Because if I had a kid and I was looking for a game to buy him, I would get him a backyard sports collection. And it wouldn't be that hard either. The games weren't that in-depth. You had season mode and a single game mode. So, I mean, you're not even... Hell, you could put like 20 of them. I don't think there were 20 backyard sports games, but you'd be able to put a crap ton on one disc. No problem for it. I'd like to see a Ninja Turtles collection. I always loved the old Ninja Turtle games, and even the fighting game. I can never remember the fighting game one where you actually had to fight each other. But all the Ninja Turtle games, I've always enjoyed them. So I say bring those in to a collection. And lastly, I'd like to see a Pokemon collection. That's one that I don't think we've ever really seen a collection for that I think would do really well. You could bundle like the old Game Boy Colors, Game Boy Advance ones. You could bundle those all ones together, like the best of the best. Like you could do a red, you could do yellow, you could do a gold, sapphire, whatever. Just one from each generation you could do. Or even you could take like the Pokemon Coliseum, those games, put them all into one collection. It would just be really fun to have a Pokemon collection because there's so many good Pokemon games. But they're all on different systems, different cartridges. Being able to have one solo where you can access all of them would be fantastic. It'd be a huge moneymaker too, especially if you're somebody that wants to try to get into Pokemon, or you've got a family member that's trying to get in. Being able to be like, hey, here's one game that has all the best Pokemon games on it. It'd be fantastic. Why they haven't done that, I don't know. But if you're a game developer, you're from Niantic, Pokemon Company, Nintendo, anybody out there, get that done too. I'd really, really appreciate that. As you've probably seen on our social medias, we have been asking people for any superhero, villain, any character that they want to know the origin story for. I still cannot tell you what it is for. I can't even give out any hints. All I can say is if there's any superhero that you've seen the movie for, like if you saw the original Thor, and you're like, something seems off about this. Go ahead, say you want to hear the origin for Thor. We've got requests for Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Savage Dragon, Wumbo's Moose Knuckle, which was submitted by Wumbo, which means it was submitted by me. But we might count it. Just anyone at all, any character, doesn't matter if they're a hero, a villain, send them to us. The only thing I ask personally, if it's a more obscure character or one you think we might not know about, just include what he's from, or like what publisher, what show, anything like that, just so when it comes time for it, we'll at least have an idea of who you're talking about. Because someone mentioned how Savage Dragon, and I don't consider Savage Dragon obscure or lesser known, but like Alex may not have any idea who Savage Dragon is. So if you just included Savage Dragon by Image Comics, it can help somebody that doesn't know him dig in a little deeper. So just as a favor, do that. If not, we'll figure it out. We'll roll with it. I think some other people that requested were Aquaman, Namor, Hulk, Superman. So I mean, we've got a pretty good collection, but keep firing off. Let us know. Anyone at all. Doesn't matter. Publisher, medium, anything like that. We'll work with it. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here. I'm recording this, and I'm looking out the window here, and there's a goldish SUV just parked there with a lady, an older lady, like 30s, 40s, laying in the back with pillows and blankets. The back hatch is open, with what looks like a teenage son. Right now she's tickling him furiously that his legs are kicking out the back. They're just parked here. Her phone is actually plugged into the back somewhere charging. But what distracted me the most is he just took a sip of Pepsi and then proceeded to projectile vomit or spit up all out the back of the vehicle. And now she's back to tickling him. They're kind of like, I don't know what's happening over there. It's just kind of weird. To each their own, but very confused as to why they're just hanging out in the parking lot doing it. That has nothing to do with any of my podcast or anything, but if you're wondering why every now and then I kept kind of spacing out, it's because I got a really, really weird show here going on. Just keeps getting weirder. I don't understand it. In other news, specifically for Gamerz news, I'm going to try to put this podcast on a hosting service as well. So it's not just on YouTube, so you guys would be actually able to listen to it, download it, watch it on YouTube. But what excites me the most is you'd be able to listen to it with your phone screen off. Imagine that. Right now, when you pull it up on YouTube, you gotta leave your phone on, or else YouTube's gonna say, not today, not today, not doing that today. So that'll be exciting. I don't know if this podcast will make it up. I'm still playing around with it. But I'll let you know when it's up and available somewhere else. Like Alex said in his podcast, we're going to be taking a little break. He also mentioned that he wants to do more live action stuff, which I find intriguing, because Alex hates the live action stuff. He hates being in front of a camera. Yesterday, I tried to take a picture of him, and he started hissing at me like a cat. I don't know what his deal is. So, I mean, maybe by live action he means the rest of us, and he's just shouting at us from off camera, but he does not like being on camera at all whatsoever. So I was kind of perplexed by that a little bit, but I'm excited. We do have a lot in the pipeline. We will eventually finish Jurassic Park as well, despite the mind-numbingness that we've experienced from it and the loss of Gorilla Batman, R.I.P. We will finish all of that, but other than that, I don't have much else. Stop bashing Sonic. Be excited to see it. If Sonic does well, I'm sure we'll get other video game movies out the wazoo. We got Detective Pikachu, so go see that, which I will admit looks better than Sonic, but they'll both be good, I'm sure. I'm excited for both. go out, see them. Also, here in Erie, we recently had the free library Comic-Con. Definitely, if you're have any local events like that, definitely attend them. It just helps bring up the culture, especially when they're free like that. The Library Comic-Con was a little disappointing. I'm not going to get into that. That's not for here nor there. Some of the events that they had were a little disappointing, but I'm not going to get into that. I appreciate you guys supporting us. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Stay alert to all of our stuff. And if you know anyone that hasn't watched it, share some of our stuff with them. Since we're having this break, go back, watch some of our old stuff. Just have fun. We'll stay here at the podcasts. I'm not leaving you guys. All right? I appreciate you tuning in for another Huz Cast. Hopefully one day I can regain my spot as being your favorite from Megan.